Okay, so I'm down visiting my parents this weekend. We're gonna pick up my dog and take him back with us for a couple of weeks because they're on holiday. But the jam was announced last night, and I managed to get a teeny weeny bit of work started. I'll record progress for that, or actually, I'll have to show you on camera because I don't have a way of recording the screen properly here. Um, but I'll give you a little drawing on paper of kind of what I'm picturing for the game here. Okay, so this diagram's a bit rough, but I think it sort of summarizes what I want to do. My idea is a kind of Pong game that is action oriented. So, like, this is your regular paddle. You pong the ball up, and it'll bounce around this arena. But instead of having an enemy paddle and trying to score on him, you're trying to keep your ball obviously out of your goal area, but you're trying to defeat enemies that spawn, and the enemies would have various different attacks, i.e. some of them will hit the ball back at you hard, some of them would shoot projectiles at you actually have to dodge with your paddle. And then the overall sort of like arc of the game would be, after clearing away the enemies, the grid that you're in will expand by a little bit. It'll get like one cell wider and more enemies will spawn. And every time that happens, every time you clear them, you'll get to choose from a set of upgrades that'll, increase your power level, so to speak. So maybe you get your paddle wider, or maybe your ball does more damage, or you have like an ability that you can shoot a bullet out or something like that. That's roughly where I'm taking it so far. The art pack that's been announced is the Kenny 1-bit art pack, which is, I think, fairly suited to doing this. I've had a look through the assets, and I think I can pull off what I want here with those assets. Yeah, wish me luck. I'll show you any progress that I make. This is Max, by the way. He's the dog that's going to be coming home with us. Say hello, Max. Say hello. Say hello. He's annoyed. I think I've disturbed his peaceful sleep after a walk this morning. Right, you'll have to excuse my recording situation. I don't have anything better at the minute, but I've got together a little basic start for the Pong, actual gameplay. It's not using physics at all. It's all custom. Well, it's using physics for collisions, I should say, but it's all using custom movement. So the ball and stuff aren't, I have control over them, and the way player hits them and stuff is all done by me, which is, I think, the best way to handle this. I don't trust Unity's 2D physics too much for it. I just don't want the inconsistencies that it could bring.
Okay, so the rest of the weekend was pretty much a wash when it came to working on the jam game. After that, I went out to see some friends with Frankie. We hung out with them in the evening, and then the next day was just sort of tidying up and sorting ourselves out, and then taking the journey back. I'll show some footage, probably this side or something, of the rain that we had to go through. Getting back, it was a dreadful journey. To like not twice as long, but a good like 1.5 times the length that it would normally have taken. But we're here. Max is sleeping on the floor behind me. I'll try and show you him in a second. Yeah, progress hasn't been great. So the only bit of extra stuff that I did is I managed to start building the framework for like something to generate the level. It's like a rudimentary version of the thing I was using before for this dungeon generator. But instead of generating the dungeon and populating it with enemies, it just generates a base map with nothing in. It's just a square outline, and then it populates the enemies using the same outline. But I wanted to try reprogramming that same logic, because I knew rewriting that code had enemy population that I was happy enough with. And so if I reuse that, it should be okay for this. All I need to do is leave some space at the bottom for the player. So I haven't tested it fully working, but I've like started doing a lot of the back end for the coding. I've also started putting in like a background system's a bad way, like a base template for all the the enemy classes and sort of what I want them to do, and how to think through how I'm going to animate stuff. Probably just using all tweens for everything, although I might strip out some of the sprites from the 1-bit pack and give them like a bob animation. I'll see if I get around to that. But yeah, that's where it is so far. Here's Max doing a really comfortable rest, just close enough to my chair that I might run over him at any point. Yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll make a bit more progress this week, although we're pretty busy. I've got like someone coming to do something at the house or the flat on Wednesday, and then someone coming to do something with the car on Thursday, so I don't know, it's intense. We'll see how I do before Friday.